So first of all, this video has absolutely nothing to do with what I am usually doing, so see it like a bonus one because it's not gonna affect the rhythm of the other videos. That's just me talking for the rest of the video from now on. But talking about something that I find really interesting, YouTube. There's so many gray zones, and God knows that on internet gray zones are a place for free interpretation, and there's many wrong informations out here. Now that I'm going full-time in YouTube, I can light up that darkness and I'm gonna blow your mind, or maybe not, but anyway, I'm gonna talk numbers, I'm gonna talk freely, and I might do other videos like that if you guys appreciate it, so let me know in the comment section, of course. So how does YouTube makes money? What's a network? These are the very two first subjects. Here we go! Talking about stuff because he thinks he's an interesting guy. Production. And let's start with the monetization. So what's YouTube and how does it make money? Let's say that I upload a video and this video will be seen by 1,000 of people. So the viewers are an audience, and this audience is perfect for advertising because you can easily target the kind of ads and pick those that will be effective on that audience. I'm gonna use an example that I think is perfect to picture that thing. Let's imagine a road. There's 2,000 people driving on that road per day. Now if you place a big sign on the side of this road, those drivers become an audience and you will have 2,000 views on your sign per day. But the problem is that your audience isn't optimized at all. There's gonna be people from every ages, from every cultures, and they're gonna see your ads, but they are not gonna be receptive at all. In this example, you are the drivers, I am the road, and the sign represents the ads. When you are watching my videos, you will not see ads saying that the new sponge from SpongeTex is amazing because the green side is 10 times more efficient than the others. In fact, you're gonna see ads for the next Assassin's Creed or the next big movie by Michael Bay, Call of Duty, etc. etc. So YouTube is selling this advertising place, this sign on the road, and you will get paid in function of how many monetized views there's been on your ad. So yeah, do not forget to count this monetized views thingy in, because this actually has a major impact for YouTubers. Back to the example, the guy who pays for having a sign on your road noticed that 50% of your drivers were looking at the opposite direction from the sign. So even if there's 2,000 drivers on your road, he will pay you 50% of your audience. And that's the monetized audience. Let's use numbers to picture that. For instance, this month I've made 1.5 million views combining all my videos. But I have only 170k monetized views. Around 15% of my views are monetized, meaning that 85% of my drivers are looking at the opposite direction and they are not seeing the ads on the side of my road. Interesting fact, there's some big differences between the countries. For example, this month, if I compare the stats from the United States and France, there's been 235k views in France, and those views brought me $58. Now in the US I had 140k views, and those views brought me $128. So with some cheeky maths, I can say that for 230k views, the US would have brought me $215. So basically, for the same amount of views, the audience from the United States brought me 4 times more money than the French one, and that's just because of adblock. There's more people using adblock in France than there are in the US. And I'm totally not asking you to remove adblock, don't quit this video yet, I'm just using numbers. And since I'm always honest with you, I have to confess, I'm using it too. But with precautions. I've disabled it for YouTube, Reddit, and all the websites where I go very often, so I want to support them because I want them to keep producing content. I'm just gonna close the adblock subject by saying this: if you love someone's job and you want to see more of his content, you can support him for free, and that's the magic of YouTube here. Plus, now you can do it pretty easily because with adblock, you can now whitelist a certain YouTube channel. You can choose which YouTubers you want to support and you will see ads only on their videos. And now I'm pretty sure that I look like a greedy bastard, so let's move on to another subject, the networks. If you ever try to do videos on YouTube, you certainly received a shitload of mail that are probably auto-generated, by the way, offering you to join a network. But wait, what's a network? If you're not in a network, the ads that are running on your channel right now are picked by YouTube. Basically, YouTube sells them by auction and sells the advertising slot, the content that will show up on your sign, to the highest bidder. Then YouTube takes 45% cut on your revenue and the creator has 55. Might seems a lot, but don't forget all the services that YouTube provides for you. It hosts all your videos even though they were uploaded 1 year ago, and allows all the people from every country to see it, and you will probably not make video if it wasn't for the YouTube money, right? Let's be honest. What? The passion? Bro. So what happens if you join a network? YouTube will still take 45% cut on the revenue, but the network will be able to sell the advertising place to whoever he wants, taking the control of the ads that will show up on your channel. Let's go back to the road example. My road still have one advertising sign on the side, and there's this company called Network which is offering me to optimize the efficiency of my sign. They will change the ad on the sign in the morning, so the drivers that are going early to work will see this beautiful publicity for a coffee, and they will of course be more receptive. Then for the lunchtime they will replace it with an ad for the new fast food in town, and every hungry drivers are gonna be teased by this delicious photo of let's say a baguette. And since they are hungry once again, they are gonna be way more receptive. Then at the end of the day, the network will say to the coffee brand and to the fast food, "Hey, I've made publicity for your product in front of 2,000 of people and they were receptive. At least 85% of them saw the sign and stared at it for a couple of seconds. So I'm asking more money and I want this amount." That's also called CPM, cost per thousand views. And yes, I know there's an M, but it's thousand. I don't know why, let's call it 1000 if you want. And that's how networks are working, that's their business model basically. If the network is a great one, it can make more money for the same amount of views because it sells the advertising slot for a little bit more than what YouTube would have done. It's supposed to increase the CPM, cost per thousand, by optimizing the kind of ads that will show up on your videos. For example, you will sometimes see an ad for CSGO Hunt running on my videos. That's a gambling website, and God, you know how I feel about gambling websites. That means my network probably sold them the advertising slot, and if you think about it just for a second, that's smart. That's totally smart, since it's way more efficient because it's a gambling website on CSGO. So it's CSGO related. My channel is about CSGO and my audience is of course about CSGO. So this has a higher impact on my audience, and of course they can sell it for more than a basic YouTube ad for a random flash game that will totally be ignored by my audience. And to make its money back, the network will take a cut from your earnings of your 55% because YouTube still takes 45% no matter what. So in general they will take from 20 to 10%, and since they're gonna raise the earnings, you won't lose money anyway. In fact, you may even win a little bit more. But, and there's a big but. You like big butts, don't you? It's time to reveal the dark side of YouTube. There's many smaller YouTubers that sign up with networks for a cut at 60% for the network. And this is basically stealing. Do never sign for more than 20% for them, otherwise they're just robbing you. And you might think that this is not significant at all, but you are wrong. You're totally wrong, and here's why. For example, here's Johnny. Johnny has the YouTube channel with 1k subs and he's doing 15k views a month. And he's just doing it for fun because he loves doing videos. Then there's a network mailing him saying that they want to work with him, that they will promote his channel and help him to grow in one of these ridiculous auto-generated mail that literally spams my mailbox. Guys, thanks but no thanks. So Johnny is impressed. He reads the contract, there's many lines, many technical terms, and Johnny is thinking that it doesn't matter anyway since he is small, and he's really happy that the company noticed his YouTube channel. Knowing that he's only making €6 per month and that YouTube doesn't send you money if you haven't at least $70 in total, he is thinking that winning 40% of these €6 doesn't matter at all. So he signs for a year because that's the basic time for a network partnership, and he's happy after all because he is in a network. And more important, they call him partner. Let that sink. And now think about this. What I'm gonna say involves only me. I'm just saying. Some networks have 50k partners. Let's say that 50% of their partners have more than 10k subs, and I don't think it is, but since I don't have any official stats, that's purely that's a theory. So the other 50% part of their partners are like Johnny, meaning that there are 25k other Johnny in the network, and the network is taking 60% of all their incomes. Johnny was making €6 per month, so the network takes 60%, which is €3.6. But when there's 20,000 of Johnny, the network can make €90k made from Johnnies. And even more important, they have access to an audience. If the average monthly view of a Johnny Like is 15k a month, the network can sell an audience of 375 million views to the announcers and negotiate the prices. That's why you have to be careful with the networks. Do not sign in a network if it takes more than 20%. That's just robbery otherwise. Now, don't get me wrong, on the other side, a network can be useful if it provides services. For instance, if you want to upload content of Battlefield, you have to be in a network, otherwise you will have trouble with the copyrights, because you're not allowed to use Battlefield content on YouTube. In this case, the network is gonna stand between you and the copyrights, and because it has an arrangement with the Battlefield's developer, for example, every YouTuber in the network can use Battlefield's content and even monetize it. Then it can also provide you royalty-free music that you can use and monetize as you want, because they have the rights on it. And there's also a bunch of other stuff, such as a dashboard that will show you your stats, or they can hook you up with some brand deals for others' company. For example, Apple is gonna say to the network, find me 10 YouTubers to promote my last iPhone and I'm gonna pay you X. Then the network will offer you the deal and they are gonna keep a certain percentage because they brought it to you. So in conclusion, for the networks, I'm not saying that a network is useless. It can be useful, but that's not necessary. One thing to remember about the networks is that you are employing them. You pay them a certain percentage of your incomes, so they provide you services. Do not forget that you would exist without them, and they would not exist without you. Damn, that was deep. This video was sponsored by my network. Join it. It's cool. And we offer free spoons. Nah, I'm just kidding, of course. I haven't mentioned mine for a reason. If you sign up with a network, you cannot say anything that would hurt their image. That's like, of course. So if I would say something about mine, it wouldn't be something else that, hey, mine is cool and blah 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 and blah blah blah. So even if it's true, and trust me, I don't have any problem with my network, but I couldn't say anything otherwise. So that wouldn't worth shit. That's why I've chosen not to talk about mine. So I think that's all I had to say. I will probably do more episodes like this where I talk about stuff. I just hope it's not too boring to watch. I like these YouTube background stories. Like, even if I wasn't doing videos, I would have loved to know some background stories behind YouTube. I think that's pretty much interesting, and since now I'm going full-time YouTuber, I'd rather know how YouTube works, right? So, thanks for watching, and even if you're using adblock, I love you. Bye bye, guys. Keep running, keep running, keep running. Yes, mate! Fuck!